Hi everyone, my name is Miss Emily. I am at the Erlanger Branch Library. I'm a programmer. I primarily do family and adult programs. We've been going live for you every Monday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. with family-focused craft programs. We are going to be changing up that schedule just a little bit, and I wanted to go over that with you. So next Monday, Miss Dagmar is going to be bringing you family cooking recipes, and the Monday after that is actually Memorial Day. So we will take a break from Facebook Live programming on that day, and then starting in June, we're going to be doing adult craft programs on Mondays at 4. So for all of you adults that might have been a little bit bored during quarantine or are looking for a new idea or a new hobby, those are for you. I know a lot of people are going back to work, or you might not be available at 4 p.m., but those are posted to our page later, so you can come back and watch them at whatever time is most convenient for you. So we are still doing programs on Wednesdays at 4 for families, so tune in next week for Miss Jill bringing you a new craft project, and we'll continue that through June as well. So we are still doing tons and tons of story times. We're doing trivia, we're doing book clubs, a ton of really cool stuff. You can check out that all at kentonlibrary.org/events, and I can put that in the comments for you later for easy access. It might be a little bit hard to slog through all the events that we unfortunately had to cancel in our branches for your safety and ours. But if you go up to the top on locations and deselect everything except online and click search, it'll take you directly to everything that we're doing specifically online for May and June. So I think that's all I needed to tell you. So we can get started with our project, which I'm really super excited about. We are doing bug hotels. So this is what it's gonna look like. It says bugs only if you can't tell. It's backwards in the video. And I know a lot of you are probably scrunching up your noses wondering why we are inviting bugs to stay in our gardens. But they're very, very beneficial to our flowers, our fruit trees, our vegetables, and all of those plants that keep you happy during the summertime, because they're pollinators. Our most popular pollinators are going to be bees and butterflies and moths, and you might see some of those in your bug hotels depending on how big you make them. But they're also going to attract things like spiders, which might make you wrinkle your nose a little bit more, and ladybugs. So ladybugs can also act as pollinators, but ladybugs and spiders are most important for controlling populations of harmful insects. So things like aphids and harmful beetles. So you want all of those in your gardens. So we're making bug hotels. You can use any container that you want for the base of your hotel. You can use a tin can, an old terracotta pot, a glass jar. I'm using old garlic jars. So anything like that, I encourage you to just go through your recycling, find something plastic. I encourage you to use something clear. It's really, really fun. After about 1 or 2 weeks, you can start seeing bugs moving into your hotels. And if it's clear and you can see around it on all sides, you'll be able to see and observe those bugs. So I'm starting with my garlic jar, and we're going to create rooms, hotel rooms in our little hotel. So I created 6 here. You can do 4 or you can do 6, whatever you like. And to do that, we're going to start with cardboard. So measure the base of your container here. Just eyeball it, does not have to be perfect. I'm going to cut it right about here and end up with something about this size. And you'll want to do that 1 or 2 more times depending on if you're making 4 or 6 rooms. So I'm going to cut out 1 more. Alright, and I have 2 here. On the second one, I'm going to cut all the way up almost to the bottom, but I want to make sure that it stays connected. And you can just slide the first one right on top of that and make little dividers and slide it into your container. And I already put mine in here, so I'm good to go. And now all you really need to do is fill it. And this is the funnest part because you get to go foraging and find a whole bunch of really cool stuff. You can go out in your backyard, Grandma and Grandpa's backyard. You can go to a park, anywhere that is safe for you to do so right now and with a trusted adult. Find some cool stuff like twigs. I have a whole bunch of twigs here that I've already cut to the size of my container. I found some tree bark. I have some crushed terracotta that's super colorful. I had these in my garden supplies, didn't need them anymore, so I crushed them up. If you don't have anything like this and you want to add some color to your bug hotel, you can take your twigs and just dip the ends of them into different colors of paint and then bundle them all together and put it in one of your rooms, and it'll be really bright and colorful and pretty. I also have some river rocks, river sand, and tiny river shells. We live in the Ohio River Valley, so you can find tons of those at riverfront parks. You can use toilet paper rolls, which I will show you how to do later. And the only thing that I'm going to use that I didn't necessarily forage is moss. I have a whole bunch of moss here. You might be able to find this in your backyard if you have woods or something like that, but I wasn't able to. So I got that at the Dollar Tree, or you might have some at home in your craft supplies already. And some twine. So you might have those at home, but if not, that's all you need to buy. You can also use things like feathers, pine cones, hay. You can use leaves and plant stems and things like that, but if you do, I would encourage you to change them out frequently, because if they start to rot, you might get fungus or bugs that you don't want to be in your garden. So just be on the watch out for that if you do use leaves. So I'm just going to go ahead and start filling my hotel, and I'm going to start with twigs. So like I said, I already cut these to the size, and since I have my terracotta pots, I'm not going to paint the ends. And I'm just going to start filling one little section of my hotel. So, just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The really cool thing about bugs and bug hotels is that bugs do not care. So you can make it as small or as big or as crazy or as wacky as you want, and the bugs are going to love it. So, I have twigs in one side, and since I have so many rooms and not as many supplies, I think I'm going to put twigs in the one just opposite here. So I'm putting a whole bunch of twigs in this side as well. And then I'm going to fill the other rooms with my bark. I'm going to put river rocks and river shells and sand and things in this one. And I also found a feather while I was out at the riverfront park, so I'm going to stick this feather in here just like that and fill it up. And pour in my sand and my seashells, or river shells, I guess. So this is what it looks like so far, and I still have a few rooms to fill. So I'm going to put some of the really colorful terracotta in here, like that. And I like to fill a lot of it with moss as well. So if you put a lot of moss, you can use a tiny twig and kind of poke some moss in there. It keeps everything in place, like you'll see in the one that I made here. I put a whole bunch of moss in there. So this is the toilet paper one that I told you that I would show you how to do those. So this is a toilet paper roll. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your roll, cut it down the long side like that. Measure your jar, and like I said, eyeball it, does not have to be perfect at all, and cut it right about here. So I'm going to start here and end up with something like this. You can use any kind of thin cardboard you have. If you don't have any extra toilet paper rolls, that is absolutely fine. And just start rolling it up a little bit tighter than it was. It's going to start looking like that. And then just take a piece of tape, secure the ends, and you have a little hidey hole for your bugs. And you can put that in any of your rooms, secure it with some moss around it. Then you can write a little welcome message to your bugs and glue it on the top. String some string around it, and you have a bug hotel. So, like I said, takes about 1 or 2 weeks of it being outside for you to start seeing bugs, but once you do, it's super fun to watch them and observe them and learn about them. So I will answer any questions in the chat afterwards if you have them. Other than that, I think we're good. So I encourage you to look through your recycling bin, find a container, like I said, tin cans, glass jars, anything like that, and go foraging and have fun with it. So thank you so much for joining us. Tune in for Jill's program at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and we'll see you in the library soon. Bye.